Right guys, welcome back. Day 6. This day is now building upon really the key maths that we worked on in the first week of the program, of getting to a point of knowing, right, you know what sales figure you need to hit, you know how much work you need to quote to be able to do that, and we've got to build the business from really solid financials. Now the gap is what today is all about, because day 6, this gap is basically, you only know how to close a gap when you know what the fucking gap is. So this will paint the picture of how many leads we're going to need, how many clients we're going to need, and basically that's the basis of working out what marketing plan to actually put into the business. Because I'll tell you where a lot of people go wrong is people dabble at marketing. They do a bit of this, they do a bit of that, and you haven't got really any idea or any clue what type of client you're trying to attract, what type of jobs you want to price and actually do, and basically setting yourself up for success. Because anyone can go out there and get some leads, but if it's not the jobs that you want, if it's not the type of work you want, it's not the value of work you want, you're just setting yourself up to be a busy fool. So this is going to set you up to basically, we're going to walk you through step by step as the days progress from now. Right, these are the clients that we want, this is how we're going to get them, and we've got a really clear defined picture of making that happen. But to do that, we've got to work out the gap, because we know, following on from day 5, based on my example, and obviously your number is going to be slightly different, what it is to you and your expenses and the margin that you're charging. If you're not clear on that, you need to go back and get crystal clear on that. But from my live example that I've given you as part of this training, we know that we've got a 55,000 sales figure to hit, excluding VAT. That's going to equate to earning the 10k net profit per month that we're trying to get to. Now we know from a quoting side that if we price 3 times that amount of work, as a worst case scenario, absolute worst case scenario, as 165 grand of work every single month that we quote, that will ensure easily that we will win the 55k that we're trying to hit. That's a worst case figure. Honestly, I'm setting you up for reality and just brutal honesty. If you work to those figures, you just set up for success. If I said to you, well, quote 55 grand a month, you don't win it, 1 month you're completely fucked, you've won no work. So I'm just setting you up for the absolute best that I possibly can. We know those 2 figures. You're going to know those 2 figures for you and your business, what those 2 numbers are, those 2 key pivotal numbers. And we also know how much work do you complete invoice per month right now. So I want you guys to start understanding that gap. What are you currently invoicing right now, and what's the shortfall, and how much work are you quoting right now, and what's the shortfall? And that's what I really want you to look at today. That's what, I just want to get your brains crystal clear on that and go, right, what is the gap? So spend some time looking back and working through that and going, okay, what have we invoiced in the last month, a full completed month, and how much work did you actually quote? You need to keep a tab and a track of how much work you're actually quoting. You need to keep a list of that and go, okay, well, we quoted that job, that was 20 grand, we quoted this job, that's 4 grand. Whatever it is for you, you've got to track this. Because really now, you are either, if you're in this program, you're either starting or fairly new. You know, you've got the whole gap to close. So that whole 55 grand, you've got the whole lot to close at the minute. Totally fine. It's just a number on a sheet. It's not anything to be scared of. This is normal business. Number 2, you're already running. You've got a team. You're working with you, and you've only got part of the gap to close. Maybe you've got 50% of that gap to close, like that 55k, for example. You've got to win 25-ish k, 27k to close, you know, and close half of that gap. Or you might be doing that amount of work already, invoicing that amount of work already, but you weren't charging the right prices and adding a profit margin that we started with, and you just need to do that now basically and carry on as you are with the clients you've already got coming in to ensure that you hit that 10k net profit. You're going to fall in one of those 3 categories. So really now, what I want to do is go, right, what's your gap? And let's just go through a couple of examples and you can identify with which one that you're in. If you're at 0 and you know that you need to deliver the full 55k's worth of work every single month right now, because you're just getting started in the business, to do that, we know, just to it's perfectly clear, you need to price 165k of work every single month. Now let's look at the maths and then the setup of doing that, because if your average job size is, let's say, £2,000 ex VAT, you would need to complete 27.5 completed jobs And then working to our quoting maths of times 3 to be able to win that, you would need to quote 82 jobs per month. Now, I don't know about you, but that sounds like a fucking nightmare and a recipe for being a busy fool, chasing your tail all over the place. It doesn't work. It doesn't work as a business. The numbers aren't really on your side doing small in and out jobs. This is something that you see this a lot in the industry. People go, oh, no job too small. And it's like, well, actually, there is a job too small because it's a ball ache. The more customers you've got, the more ball aches you've got. You know, if you've got a 20 grand job or a 2 grand job, you're still dealing with one client. And we've got to get to a point where we can get the right size job for you, that it's not just doing small in and out stuff. You're actually attracting most of the bulk of your work is bigger value works that's easier to manage, easier to win and get, because it takes the same amount of effort to sell someone on a £2,000 job or sell them on a £20,000 job. Same effort. It's talking to one person, it's getting one yes from one person, and it's a lot easier to run a business because it's one invoice as well. And it's one job to organise and manage. And you'll know yourselves from this industry, once you start a job, it's easier to manage. Once it's started, it's that first bit of getting going, the organisation, the pre-planning, the backwards and forwards with the client. You actually want, as a business, the least amount of clients. The least amount of clients you've got, the least amount of headaches you've got, the least amount of problems you've got to juggle and organise. Trying to run 27, well, it's going to be 28 jobs, rounding it up, at 2 grand each to hit your target. Wow, if anyone can do that, fucking fair play, that's amazing, but you won't be able to do it for long because you'll just burn out and blow up. It's an absolute fucking nightmare. So if we compare that to an average job size of 20 grand per job, it's just, the numbers are on your side. You need to complete 2.75 jobs a month, we'll call it 3 jobs to round up a month at that size, and you'd need to quote eight jobs per month. 8 quotes a month, that's 2 a week. You can do this. They're on your size, and I know some of you will be thinking, "Fuck me, that's a big difference. 20 grand job's a lot if you're new to business." But let's just play that out. If you're a tiler, for example, a 2 grand job is going to be someone's little fucking pokey ensuite bathroom or a little downstairs toilet. A 20 grand job is going to be 2 nice, decent bathrooms in a nice house. You're easily going to be able to do the 20 grand jobs, and you can churn that and build that. If you're electrical, a 2 grand job might be a massive house refurb, extension, whatever, but a 20 grand job could be doing 3 or 4 new builds for someone. And, you can be in and out because it's a new build house and it's quicker and it's easier. And what we've really got to get you to a point of, whatever trade you're in, whatever business you're in, is just picking the right work, because there's enough work out there, and being very clear on what work you want. Because a lot of people go wrong in this industry if they just take what comes to them. And there's 2 types of business owner. There's the business owner that business happens to them, like you just take whatever shit comes up. Or there's the intentional business owner that goes out there and sets a plan and goes, right, I want this work, and this work, because the numbers work on my side to better hit your targets. And it's no wonder a lot of people never hit decent financial targets or build a business they want, because they don't spend the time doing this. And as basic as it sounds, sometimes you need to just do the numbers on a bit of paper and have it in your diary and go, right, well, if we win 8 jobs at 20 grand, or whatever the numbers are going to be for you, versus 80 at fucking 2 grand, what's going to be the one that you can actually achieve? You know the answer. So example 2, let's say you're already invoicing 20 grand a month, just as an example. And we know to hit that 55k in my example, you've then got a gap of £35,000 worth of work a month. At worst case, working on the rule of 3 that we've gone through, you would need to quote £105,000 worth of work a month to close that gap. Now let's just say on this example, the average job size that you do is £5,000. That means you need to complete 7 jobs. That's going to give you the 35k. You'd need to quote 21 jobs to be able to do that. 21 quotes, 5 a week. Yeah, you can do that. It's not impossible. But again, if it's an average job size of like 20 grand a month, 20 grand average job size, sorry, not per month, it's 1.75 jobs. It's 2 jobs completed and it's 5 jobs to quote. Again, numbers on your side, and obviously depending on what you do, there's going to be a different scale of it. If you're a general builder doing an extension, you could do this in 1 job. It could be 1 job per month. Literally, it could be 2 or 3 quotes per month and you hit the 55k. But if you're an individual trade, this is where you've got to be working out, right, what's the smarter way of doing it? Because even if you're a decorator, for example, or a plasterer, you're going to be better off not doing the spare bedroom or the ceiling that needs doing around someone's house. You're going to be better off doing the whole entire house, the whole entire package, and going after the right clients that can afford to pay those prices, and you can get repeat work of it as well. Because the in and out jobs, look, sometimes they work out well. You know, you can do the small jobs. I know, because I used to do this. You can do a small job on the way home from another job and earn a few quid. But this is the short mentality. This is a small-minded mindset. You want to be looking at a big-minded mindset and going, well, it's actually easier. We're going to earn more money overall and get you to the point of earning the 10k net per month that we're trying to get you to. And we will, if you do what I tell you to do, of having the right clients that can give you repeat work, it's bigger works. You would rather have the whole house to plaster, the whole house to decorate. You'd rather have 3 bathrooms in a big house to tile. You'd rather have a big office that you can tile and get the revenue, basically, and looking at the right clients are getting the revenue. So just setting you up really to succeed and get the revenue in the right place. We just need to understand this gap and start working, right, who's your ideal client, okay? Now, your action steps, because what we're going to be doing tomorrow is actually, right, mapping out your route to the best clients you want to be able to hit the revenue targets in these size of jobs. And I won't go too much into it now, but give you an overview. Look, in this industry, you're either going to be residential or commercial, and it's going to be loads of different options you can take to get the right clientele to be able to hit these numbers that we're talking about. So that just gives you a bit of a taste of what we're going to be going into tomorrow. But all I want you to do today is work out your current gap in your monthly invoicing and quoting. Like, what are you currently invoicing now? You need to look at that for the last 3 months and get an average. Go to your bank, go to whatever system you're using, whether it's Xero or Sage, or you don't have that yet and you're doing it manually, whatever it is. Work out what have you actually invoiced the last 3 months. Identify that, and then equally go back and look at, right, what have you quoted the last 3 months on average? What's your gap? Work the gap out. You know, you've got to understand the gap, because it's a bit like losing weight. You know, if you step on the scales and you know you've got 2 stone to lose or 2 pound, the actions are very different. You know, the person that's got 2 pounds to lose doesn't need to do that much, but the person that needs to lose 2 stone has got to go, do you know what? I need to stop drinking. I need to go to the gym 5 times a week. I need to follow a proper plan. I need to go out walking. You know, all these different bits, and we've got to identify that gap for you so that we can best prescribe the plan to get you to the position of pricing that 55 grand a month in this example. But equally, we never lose sight of, we're trying to get you to the point of 10k net per month. And then what I want you to do, number 2, is define your average job size. And look, don't base it on what you're currently getting now, because obviously what we're working to is a business that you want to have. And some of you might be doing the smaller jobs now, the 2 grand jobs, and going, fuck, how the fuck am I going to make the jump from 2k to 20k? It's no different. It's just a mindset. It's a psychology thing of going after the right clients, doing the same trade, the same service, but in a better, easier, bigger package. And then obviously we'll move that on to how you're going to fulfill that and deliver that. But let's not worry about that for now. Let's keep it to the numbers and the reality of the business side that we need to hit. And, you know, it doesn't matter where you are now. For you as business owners, and this is regardless of who you are and what stage you're at in business, you have to operate with 2 hats. You have to operate from 1, the business you are today, and 2, the business that you want to be. And by you doing this program, you are doing it because you want to be a different business, and you've got to detach yourself from that and go, okay, well, this is where we are now, but it's not where we want to be. We want to be the business that is doing this. You want to be in a place of doing the bigger jobs for the better clients, for the more repeat clients, and building the systems and the processes to be able to do that. Just detach it and, you know, look at it like a line down the middle and go, right, where you are now does not equal where you're going to be in the future. Business owners, we've always got to look at it and go, right, this is the business we've got today, but if we make these decisions today, we can have the business here and have the business that we want it to be. All right, so I want to just define that for you, that just go with it, follow the maths along and follow the process, and just identify the gap for today and identify the type of jobs that you want to be working on, even though you may not have done them yet or got yourself to that position yet, because we will get you there. Okay. And then number 3, define how many quotes you would need to do per month at that average job value, and do the maths. You know, if you're doing average jobs at 2 grand, you know, you've got to quote the 82 jobs a month. That's your wake up call to go, we can't we just can't hit the goals by doing that. So it's pointless having a plan that doesn't work for the goals that you've got, getting to that 10k net per month. And I want you to just really review that and evaluate that and go, okay, how many quotes are we going to need to do based on this average job size that we're going after to hit the targets you want to get to? Okay, right, I hope that's been useful, guys. Do that maths today. Just spend 15-20 minutes on that and go, right, what's the gap? How many quotes? Average job size? Get all that information, because that's going to be very valuable for tomorrow. And we're going to basically map out your route of, right, who's your client and where are they? And then we'll start progressing into how we're going to get them. All right, I'll see you on the next one.